and welcome to a croaky Mr. Jimmy D. But also to another brand new episode here on Sunnyside of Farms. Right, what are we doing today? Well, as you cannot tell, but you can now, I've got the seed bags on the back of the trailer and we're doing some more drilling. So we're carrying on from last time, where I think in the last episode we ploughed the new fields around the sort of farm where we're at the moment, and we got rid of the grass fields that were there because we didn't need that many grass fields. We will do eventually, but we don't need them at the moment, and we ploughed them up and we're going to put crops in. So the ones around the farm, we're going to put barley in these fields, and then the one down there we're going to put probably corn or something like that in it. But yeah, so that's what we're doing. And as we get into the field, you'll notice that there is a new tractor in the field, new to the farm anyway, because it's second hand. So it's a tractor that we've borrowed from the local dealership, and I'm basically just giving it a try to see whether or not in the future we might like to buy it. It's not currently available at the moment. It does still belong to a farm, but they, as I say, they and the dealership have agreed to let us borrow it just for today. So, you know, we've got to try and get everything done that we want to get done today, because you know, we'll lose the tractor, and I don't think we'll have anything powerful enough to pull a 6-meter power harrow. So, but say that tractor is just in there. It's just breaking down the sort of soil, subsoiling slash deep rooted cultivation, but it's just breaking down any clods and lumps that are on the surface. So we'll get this off, and then we'll get the drill on, and then we'll get cracking. I can't actually remember where I put the drill, which is always really helpful and handy. There's tractor and sprayer, but we don't need that. Right, so we'll get this in here. The one thing I used to like about my crawler was the ability to spin on the spot. The farm were never that chuffed, because you used to dig everywhere up, especially if it was in the yard. But yeah, it was a good way of making really tight turns. Right, is the drill in there? No. Is the drill over there? Yes. Right, that's good. In theory, if I can turn, in theory, we should be able to go down the road with the drill outstretched, but I'm not going to, just because PC Plod, who's never around when you need him, but he may well just be around when you don't need him. So we'll take it down to the field in the normal way, and then we'll get it on and get it going. And so if we get this barley drilled in here today, then we will be okay. So the barley I'm going to use for seed production. If I can get round to buying the seed sort of factory machine that converts grain into seed. So we used to do this on the farm as well. So a lot of our barley, we would why is that not going so quick? There we go. Yeah, so the barley that we would grow, we would sorry, it's the whole kind of multitasking thing. It was annoying me that it was over the speedo. I couldn't see the speedo, and I couldn't see any of the icons down the bottom there, and it was it was playing my own CD up. I had to move it. It's still not particularly neat now, but it's good enough for me. But yeah, so anyway, we'll get into the field, and then if we need to refill, we can do. I can't remember. I didn't look, if I'm honest, whether there was seed in there or not. I don't think there's a great deal in there. No, there's not a huge amount in there, so we will have a quick top up. So, but yeah, barley was something that we did used to grow, and then we'd have the seed treaters in, as they were called, or as I called them, and they would come in and then dress our seed for us, and that's what we would do. So some of it would go. Oh, hang on, I don't want that one. Don't take it from the inside end, take it from the outside end. Right. This probably isn't going to go too well. I'm having one of those days today. So I was trying to convert a video, or trying to make a video, and the editor just decided, nope, not going to work. Sorry. And so that was a bit of a nightmare. Then my computers ran out of memory this morning, so then that delayed recording, because it was like scrambling around trying to get rid of stuff so as I could open up some memory. I told you it was going to go bad. I'm having one of those days. I've woken up this morning, just in one of those days. Honestly, there is actually an easier way of getting bags off there without doing that. If we bring that in slightly, that'll help. And that is tilt the tines down first. I know, I know that, but I just sometimes sort of think, nah, you should just work like that. But yeah, so as I say, we'll get this done, and then unfortunately the trigger's in the middle of the two hoppers, so it looks a bit terrible. It looks like I'm emptying onto the floor, but I'm not actually emptying onto the floor. Alright, we will do that. And we'll probably recover them. Now there's a bit of a debate. I've had a few people in real life, not on farming sim, but in real life, sort of say to me, oh, you don't have to recover them. But because I used to use a Verdostat, and according to the Verdostat manual, the drill needed to be covered every time, like, the tarp pulled back over. So this is the tractor that we're currently sort of borrowing, and it's doing a great job. And as I say, I think it will be a nice addition to the farm. To be fair, a very nice addition to the farm, but not yet. A, I can't afford it, and B, we just not really got any need for it at the moment, but we will have. Right, so what we need to do is go to number 2, and then we go to there. Alright, and then so 24, so 12 is the thing, so I have to sort of kind of tell myself, why are you not working? The pedals had been pressed. Here we go. Right, we're drilling. That's fantastic news. So yeah, we're, as I say, a bit of a discussion with Verdostat as to whether or not you needed to recover the drill once you filled it up. And the book and Verdostat said yes, you do, because it keeps it pressurized, and if you can keep it pressurized, it will distribute seed evenly, and as well it stopped dust getting in and clogging up the mushroom, as I used to call it, but I don't think that's the correct term for it, but I used to call it the mushroom, the seed distributor. It stopped us clogging that up as well, and also as well, I mean, whilst unlikely, you know, but any sort of low-hanging branches, or if you were going under trees, or again, you know, very unlikely, but you know, sort of anything that was able to get into the tank and split one of the pipes, you know, if you could just cover it and sort of save all of that hassle, it was definitely a good thing to do, because it was an absolute sod trying to change those pipes. I know this because one got a tear about halfway down, and or got a split in it, and I had to change it, and honestly it was so fiddly, so it just wasn't very nice. So yeah, I always used to cover it, but no one else did. Anyway, gonna crack on with this, and we're going to turn over to a little bit of time lapse, and as I say, we're going to crack on with getting this drilled, getting all of these fields drilled today. And as I say, we're going to switch over to a little bit of time. I could have put the forklift down here, look, that would have been a much better place for it. Not too worried about drilling right up to the end, actually. So we used to leave a little strip on the farm, just a really tiny strip, as sort of small as, you know, as wide as we dare go, but leave it. And then what we would do is, if we down that sterile strip, we would then spray Roundup, and that then it acted as a buffer between the verge of the field, the edge of the field, and the dike and the grass and everything, and the field, because you know, it sort of, as I say, we created a sterile strip between the two, and for us it worked really well. So I mean, you know, obviously that's what they did. But yeah, anyway, as I say, I'm going to switch over to some time lapse, and I'm going to get on drilling this, and I'll see you in a little bit's time.
Got a soul to sell. See my face in the flames, they know me well. As far as heaven, I ain't going there, because hell's got the best party down there. But you said I can make it up in my 27 club, singing hallelujah while I'm coughing up my lungs. Who said I could make it up to the 27 club, singing hallelujah? There are emotional developments and outbursts. If you need some help, I know that makes it worse. I don't wanna feel no more, I just wanna hurt. All I know is dirt, dirt, dirt. There are emotional developments and
Right, so we're back. That's got this field drilled quite nicely in the end. Good job in here. Pleased with that. So I say we get the other two. There's two more fields. We've got a big one to do now, and then on the other side of the farm, there's just one, probably not much bigger than this one, to get done. But as I say, I need to fetch the forklift because we're running out of seed, and plus as well, I don't want to have to drive all the way back here to refill. So we will do, as I say, we'll fetch this, and then we'll be about where we want to be. The development down at the pig farm is still going on in earnest. We're still getting that done and getting it cleared. There's not a great deal more to do down there, apart from the fact that we need to clear all the stone up, because there is stone absolutely everywhere down there. So we do need to clear that up. But yeah, the actual ground itself is pretty much cleared now. So as I say, once we get that done, we will have our room for our factory, and then what we'll do it all for our abattoir, and then what we'll do is we'll get all the stone down there sold, because there's quite a lot of stone down there again, and we'll get all that sold, and then we'll get the pigs in. There's no point having an abattoir if we don't have pigs. So I'm not too worried about the abattoir at the moment, but the ground's been cleared. The groundwork's been done. Rather than sort of getting too far into pig breeding and then we haven't got no way of getting rid of them, or we lose money because we have to send them elsewhere. I've decided to sort of get everything ready down there first, and then we'll go from there. So that's sort of been the plan down there, really, and as I say, it has gone really well. Right. What's the neighbour coming out to have a look? Yeah, it looks as if he might be coming out to have a look. So I used to love it as a kid. The first farm that I worked on, as I said before, they had fields at the back of my house. They had about, surrounding my house, they had probably about 8 or 9 fields. Oh, he's gone the other way. He's probably gone to the shop. They had about 8 or 9 fields, and I used to love, like on school holidays and weekends and that, going down there. Oh, actually, that's flat down there. Look, we can put the trailer down there. That's a much better way of doing it, James. I'm gonna borrow your drive. Sorry, love. Yeah, we can put the trailer down here, look, because it's flat, and as I say, it's a much better option for us, to be fair. But yeah, getting outside and peering through the hedges, or the hedge, to look at them directly behind my field. It was obviously even better when my granddad was working on there, because if he was in there with the crawler, and then with the old track marshal ploughing, then as I say, I'd sort of go in there. So the farm generally were quite good. They used to know what went on, and so if they could, they'd get my granddad ploughing that field sort of over Friday in the weekend, because it took about a day and a half to plough the field with the track marshal behind my house. And they then fast forward 30 some odd years, and I'm now ploughing the field with a Claas Challenger, and with a 75E Claas Challenger. No, was it 75E? I can't remember now. Might have been the 55E. It was the smaller one. It wasn't the one with the long straight. It was the sort of pointy, the one that, mind you, I haven't said that cat built them all, but yeah. So I had that one. I think it was the 55E, and with my 8 for a Lempkin. And as I say, Grandad and his track marshal and his 6 for a Dadswell reversible offset. compared to my 8-meter mounted offset Lemkin Grandad, day and a half, sometimes 2 days. Myself, I was in there about 4 hours. Probably slightly longer than 4 hours, but I could get it if I started in the morning at 8 o'clock. I'd have it done by the time I went home from my tea, and that was just the difference. As I say, you know, from having, you know, probably, I don't know what the track marshal would have had, to be fair, probably about 90 horsepower, 110 maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't like to say because I don't know. No, it must have had more horsepower than that because it had a 6 semi-mounted reversible plough on the back. So I don't know what they were, to be fair. I'm guessing it must have been in the 100 and sort of around the 125, 150 mark. And the only reason why I say that is that John, who I ended up working with all those years later, he had a 7810, and it just about pulled that plough. And I'm pretty certain that that tractor is 175, isn't it? So I don't know, maybe it was a 200 horsepower. I don't know. I'm probably making myself sound very ridiculous here. I genuinely don't know what horsepower the track marshal was, but as I say, it's you know, get a couple, you know, sort of 30 some odd years down the line, I'm now using a Claas Challenger, you know, that was, I think, 235 horsepower. I think it was. It might have been 250, and suddenly, you know, I was ploughing a lot more acres per day than, you know, what the track marshal did. But at the time, you know, everyone thought the track marshal was marvellous. You know, it could plough fields that size, you know, within sort of a day and a half, you know, and everyone thought that was brilliant. And it's kind of, I guess, the point in a way of 1950s farm is I'm trying to show that the evolution of farming and the way that it changed and what more powerful, more bigger machines have done, you know, for farming, and you know, it's all relevant really. But yeah, so that's kind of what I've sort of been hoping to achieve with that series, and I think slowly we are, because we are sort of improving the size of the equipment, whilst, you know, implements, from kind of what I can sort of gather and find out, implements got a lot bigger than the tractors before the tractors, and the tractors had to catch up. Now John Deere had their track crawler, and obviously you know, Caterpillar had their tractors and what have you on steel tracks, and so, you know, there were the tractors there to pull them, but you know, they weren't many. You know, as I say, there was only really a few brands that were, you know, sort of doing tractors that were capable of pulling. I mean, John Deere, you know, as I sort of said, in 1950s, you know, they had the crawler, and then they had to build, you know, sort of implements and machines to go on the back of the crawler to make the crawler justifiable, because, you know, it obviously had, I think it was 120 horsepower. It was the first tractor, I think, that broke 100 horsepower, I think. Again, without looking it all up and looking at my notes, I'm trying to sort of go from memory. But yeah, so they then started to build the bigger planters and, you know, the bigger drills and what have you, and you know, trying to sort of give implements that you know, would sort of go. But yeah, to get back to the original point, as I say, I used to love looking through the hedge or walking down the road. I used to say, "Mum, I'm going down the lane," and she was like, "Well, don't you go too far." But no, I'm going to see Grandad, don't worry. "Oh, you leave Grandad alone, he's at work." "Yeah, I'm only going to stand on the side of the field, I'm not going to go up to him." And that was basically my childhood. You know, sort of any given, I can't say all this, right, we're not doing too bad. Any given opportunity to go and watch the tractors in the fields, and I was off. As I say, it was pretty much only the farm that I ended up working on that had fields around me. There was one other farm, a guy called Henry Neal, and he had some field. He had, I think, 2 fields, I think, round where I lived. One across the drain, so yeah, sort of my house was on a crossroads. You had a dike, a road, a drain, a lane. So if, you know, like when I said I'm going down the lane, that was the lane that I was going down. And I think I'm pretty certain he had a field on the lane at the beginning, sort of the house end, and then you walk down the lane, then there was a big house, and then past the big house then was the farm that I worked on, all their fields again, and then all their fields stretched then as far as you could see. Yeah, you know, and as I say, but Henry had one right at the beginning of the lane. It was quite a big field, to be fair, and he was sort of really no more than a smallholder, really. But you know, I mean, he still farmed it. He still, you know, obviously made money from it, and you know, did sort of quite well, and you know, retired now. I think he's in his 90s now. But he still goes by every day on his lawnmower, cutting all the village grass, you know, so outside the church and outside the village hall, and you know, the football field, and you know, trying to keep the village tidy, which is quite nice. But you know, now that we're getting a lot of people from afar move here, and sort of the locals are becoming few and far between, you know, that sort of stuff isn't going to happen. You know, and you know, if I was sort of physically capable of doing it, then you know, I would do it. It was part of my job when I worked on the first farm, to go and cut the church grass, because I was doing it before I worked there. I was doing it sort of, I bought myself a John Deere ride-on, and a John Deere trailer, and so I used to go down there and cut the church grass for them, and took pride in it, because you know, my family were in there, and now, you know, it's done on a rota system by lots of different people that don't have family in there, and they just do it any old how. You know, headstones get knocked over and damaged and chipped and broken, and it's such a shame. But that's just the way it is. Anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm going to crack on with this field as well, and when we get to the end of this field, we'll meet in the bar and call it a draw. Is that okay? So yeah, we'll, as I say, we'll crack on with this field as well. I'm not very good, am I, at keeping to a strict time schedule and keeping on point. I do like to chat and wander off. Oh, actually, we don't need the marker down. But as I say, I'm going to go and we'll get some more time lapse in, and then we'll see where we're at the end. Bye for now.
Caught your eye before the first downbeat. Every glance a move, I can't retreat. In the circle, we're drawn to compete. Show your strength, but don't concede. Strike the floor, now we both proceed. Hearts pound, double time, barely 2 feet apart. Signals exchange, do you play the part? Every silent moment feels like a start. Right foot, left foot, testing the art. Every step we take is war and peace. Body spiraling, search and release. Lines drawn tight, what's gained, what's seized. Locked in rhythm, hope for the keys. fall. You and I dancing, surrender and brawl. Fingers tiptoe on black and white dreams. Echoes linger where silence streams. Heartbeats sync with the melody so. Filling the cracks where the shadows store. Whisper to the keys, let them speak for me. Every note a story, every chord a plea. Hold me in the quiet where the music stays, lost and found within its fragile haze. The old piano hums like it knows my name. It weaves my sorrow into its frame, a soft confession in a quiet room, emerging light from the deepest gloom. Whisper to the keys, let them speak for me. Every note a story, every chord a plea. Hold me in the quiet where the music stays, lost and found within its fragile haze. The old piano hums like it knows my name. It weaves my sorrow into its frame, a soft confession in a quiet room, emerging light from the deepest gloom. Each hammer strike a memory untamed, the sharp and flat of everything unchanged.
Right, so we're nearly done this field now, which is pretty cool. So we've just got one more to do now, which is the other side of the farm, but that one hasn't been, as far as I can remember, that one hasn't been turned over. So we will go across there and we'll just get that one done. We can be in there by ourselves. We don't need the tractor and the power. It's gone back now anyway. So it's 10 to 4, and yeah, it's gone back. It's quite good. Did a good job. I didn't get to drive it, unfortunately, but as I say, it did a good job. It kept in front of the drill, which was what I was looking for. Had enough horsepower to pull a 6-meter power. So yeah, maybe something, as I say, for the future to think about. But once I get this done, obviously we've got to get it rolled. Once we've got it rolled, then we'll be down at the pig farm and making sure that we're getting that turned over. As I say, we've got some stone to sell as well. Probably do that off camera, to be fair, because that's a bit tedious driving back and forth down there, selling stone, and then with the train as well. So try and do that one off camera, and then as I say, we'll have a bit of money then. I'm going to change the harvester this year, so I am going to go with either that John Deere that I showed you or another combine. But yeah, we are going to change the harvester this year as well. Want to slowly and surely start to build a proper arable business away from the sheep farm, away from the chicken farm, you know, sort of possibly even independent to the pig farm. Have those as you know, the farms that sort of grow animals, and then have a proper big hub where you know, we run all of our arable and vegetable you know, sort of farm from. So I think that will, for the future, that will make a lot of sense, and it will help to keep the businesses separate, and then we won't sort of kind of get ourselves a bit lost and confused. Well, I won't get myself lost and confused as to where I'm at and what's going where. So that's what we'll probably do. But as I say, I've pretty much finished this field now. Just got a few more breeds to do up and down, and then we're nearly in the corner. And then, as I say, I shall go round and get on with the last field and get that done. And then that will be spring drilling pretty much done now. As I say, and then get on with the pigs. When you come back next time, I'll show the progress down there. I may have sold the stone, I may not have done. I'm just tipping it on the floor at the moment, and I thought we'd go back later and just clear it all up and tidy up, because there's bound to be bits that I've missed and still be lumps and bumps in there, so I thought we could do that whilst we were picking the stone up. It's been good fun. I haven't sort of showed a great deal of it on camera just because I'm not very good with the excavator, and it doesn't look that professional and doesn't look that great, but I have been, you know, sort of down there working away and doing it. And as I say, last week or the week before now, it would have been when I was at the sort of snooker all week. I kind of didn't do any on here for overall. To be fair, I didn't do anything on any one of my saves for getting on for just shy of 2 weeks. You know, but so getting back into the swing of it. Anyway, thanks ever so much for watching. I've really enjoyed having your company. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed it, why not give it a thumbs up? You know, it means a lot to me. It means that you like the content that I do, and you know, that you enjoy it. And if you feel like it and you want to, why not subscribe as well? It's completely free to do so. And as I always say, it does help the channel. It does definitely help me. And when I say it helps me, by the way, I mean kind of sort of with my you know, sort of well-being, in terms of it gives me a little boost, because you know, for those that have watched the channel for a long time, you know that I suffer a little bit from my mental health. So you know, when I get a new subscriber come in, it does, just for a little while, it perks me up, and I think, yes, come on, you know, the drive's got to be there, we've got to keep going. But anyway, as I say, thanks ever so much for watching. Can't wait to see you in the next episode. Bye for now.